Hello, Army. Welcome back to BTS News Today. Nobody in that stadium was ready for what happened during BTS Soundcheck D2 in Mexico. At first, everything looked normal. The members were joking around, running across the stage, and hyping up Army like they always do. Fans were already screaming just seeing Kim Taehyung and Jungkook standing next to each other. But then, something suddenly changed. The second TaeKook started playing around near the front of the stage, the entire atmosphere exploded. Thousands of Army began screaming so loudly that even the members looked shocked for a moment. Jungkook could not stop laughing. TaeKook kept getting closer, and BTS instantly turned the soundcheck into complete chaos. What happened next had fans recording from every angle because nobody could believe it was actually real. And then came the moment that is now spreading everywhere online. One unexpected interaction, one wild reaction from BTS, and one move from TaeKook that completely shook the Mexico stadium. Fans are already calling this one of the craziest BTS soundcheck moments ever witnessed live, but the part nobody can stop talking about happened near the very end. And trust me, once you see what Taehyung and Jungkook did in front of thousands of screaming Army, you will understand why this moment is making the entire fandom lose their minds right now. The energy inside the Mexico stadium kept rising every single second after BTS walked onto the stage for Soundcheck D2. But the moment Kim Taehyung and Jungkook started moving toward the center together, the atmosphere changed instantly. Fans who were recording casually suddenly began shaking their phones as screams exploded across every section of the stadium. Even before anything major happened, Army could already feel that something unexpected was about to unfold between the two. Kim Taehyung looked completely carefree, laughing while running across the stage with endless energy, while Jungkook stayed close behind him, matching every movement almost instinctively. The chemistry between them felt impossible to ignore. Every camera inside the venue immediately shifted toward TaeKook, without hesitation. What shocked fans the most was how naturally BTS themselves reacted around the two. The members looked like they already knew chaos was coming. As music blasted through the stadium speakers, Kim Taehyung suddenly rushed toward the front stage area, with Jungkook following only seconds later. The crowd reaction became so loud that some fans later claimed they could barely hear the music anymore. Videos from different angles captured the same thing at the exact same moment. Thousands of people stood up simultaneously, screaming before anything even happened. That was when the entire mood of Soundcheck D2 completely exploded. Kim Taehyung suddenly turned around while laughing uncontrollably, and Jungkook instantly mirrored his energy. The two began jumping around the stage like they had forgotten there were tens of thousands of people watching them. Their energy became so chaotic that even BTS could not stop reacting in the background. Army quickly noticed how Jungkook kept watching Kim Taehyung's every movement. Every time Kim Taehyung ran forward, Jungkook followed. Every time Kim Taehyung hyped the crowd louder, Jungkook's energy doubled seconds later. Fans inside the stadium started screaming even harder after realizing the two were completely feeding off each other's excitement. And then came the moment that pushed the entire stadium over the edge. Kim Taehyung suddenly got dangerously close to the edge of the stage while waving toward fans, causing massive panic and excitement at the same time. Jungkook immediately rushed toward him, and for a split second, the two were standing so close together that the entire front section erupted into absolute chaos. People were crying. People were jumping. Phones everywhere were shaking violently, while fans tried desperately to capture the moment clearly. Within minutes, clips from the soundcheck started spreading online at insane speed. Fans who were not even inside the stadium began losing their minds after seeing blurry recordings of Kim Taehyung and Jungkook running around the stage together like they were completely lost in the moment. But what made the situation even crazier was BTS's reaction afterward. The members looked unable to stop laughing as the energy inside the stadium kept spiraling out of control. Every time Kim Taehyung and Jungkook moved near each other again, the screams somehow became even louder than before. Fans quickly realized that the crowd itself was now affecting BTS's behavior on stage. The louder Army screamed, the more chaotic the members became. The Mexico Stadium no longer felt like a simple soundcheck. It felt like a full concert before the actual concert had even started. Security staff near the barricades were visibly overwhelmed as fans pushed closer, just trying to get a clearer look at TaeKook's interactions. Some fans were reportedly crying while holding their phones because they realized they were witnessing moments that would instantly become legendary inside the fandom. Then, another unexpected moment happened. Jungkook suddenly sprinted across the stage again, and Kim Taehyung immediately chased after him without hesitation. The two looked completely locked into their own world while BTS watched the chaos unfold around them. The stadium noise became deafening. Even fans sitting far from the stage could feel the floor vibrating under their feet from the screams alone. Online reactions became even more insane after people noticed one detail hidden inside several fan recordings. Every single time Kim Taehyung smiled directly at Jungkook, Jungkook's entire expression changed instantly. That single detail alone triggered massive discussions across social media within minutes. Fans began replaying the clips repeatedly, slowing videos down frame by frame, trying to analyze every movement between the two during the soundcheck. Some called it the strongest TaeKook energy scene in months. Others claimed Mexico D2 had officially become one of the most unforgettable BTS soundcheck moments ever captured. But the biggest reason fans still cannot stop talking about that night is because of what happened near the ending of the soundcheck. Just when everyone thought the chaos was finally calming down, Kim Taehyung suddenly did something that made the entire stadium erupt one last time. And Jungkook's reaction immediately afterward only made the situation even more unbelievable. The final minutes of BTS Soundcheck D2 in Mexico were supposed to calm the stadium down. Instead, they became the exact reason the entire night spiraled into something fans still could not process hours later. As the members slowly moved across the stage preparing to wrap up the soundcheck, ARMY thought the wild TaeKook moments were finally over. The screaming had started settling down slightly, phones were lowering, and some fans believed the chaos had already peaked earlier. But Kim Taehyung suddenly changed everything again. Out of nowhere, he rushed toward the center stage with a burst of energy that immediately caught everyone's attention. The second fans realized Jungkook was running behind him again. The entire stadium erupted before either of them even did anything. That anticipation alone was enough to shake the venue. Thousands of people instantly stood back up. Phones flew into the air. Fans near the barricades screamed so loudly that several BTS members turned around laughing in disbelief at the reaction Mexico Army was giving TaeKook. Then came the moment that completely destroyed the stadium's remaining self-control. Kim Taehyung suddenly jumped near the front of the stage while spreading his arms toward the crowd, looking completely overwhelmed by the energy around him. Only seconds later, Jungkook followed with the same explosive energy, and the synchronized chaos between them sent the audience into absolute meltdown. The screams became so intense that videos recorded from different sections of the stadium captured the exact same thing, people physically shaking while trying to film. Some fans dropped their phones. Others completely gave up recording and just screamed. What made the moment even more dangerous for ARMY emotions was the way Jungkook kept looking toward Kim Taehyung afterward. Every movement between them felt effortless, almost instinctive, like neither of them needed to think before reacting to the other. And fans noticed everything. The smiles, the eye contact, the uncontrollable laughter, the way both of them kept drifting back toward each other no matter where they moved on stage. Online clips began spreading even faster after fans enhanced several recordings and discovered tiny details most people miss live. In one angle, Jungkook could reportedly be seen watching Kim Taehyung before bursting into laughter seconds later. Another video showed Kim Taehyung hyping up the crowd while repeatedly turning toward Jungkook as if waiting for his reaction. Those details alone pushed the internet into chaos. The hashtag started exploding across multiple platforms almost immediately after the soundcheck ended. Fans who were not even in Mexico began calling the interactions unreal, while others claimed the chemistry between Kim Taehyung and Jungkook felt stronger than ever during D2. But then another unexpected detail made everything even crazier. Several fans near the stage claimed BTS themselves looked shocked by how loud the crowd became specifically during TaeKook moments. Every time Kim Taehyung and Jungkook moved closer together, the entire stadium volume seemed to double instantly. Even staff members standing near the stage were reportedly turning around reacting to the noise from the audience. Mexico Army was completely out of control. The atmosphere no longer felt like fans simply watching idols perform. It felt personal, emotional, almost impossible to contain. One viral clip in particular started gaining massive attention online only minutes after the event. The video showed Kim Taehyung suddenly pausing mid-movement after hearing the crowd screaming Jungkook's name beside him. Instead of moving away, Taehyung appeared to laugh before stepping even closer toward Jungkook again. That single moment sent fans into complete emotional collapse. Views on reposted clips began skyrocketing across social media, with thousands of comments appearing almost instantly. Some fans called it one of the most dangerous TaeKook nights for the fandom emotionally. Others admitted they could not stop replaying the videos because every angle seemed to reveal another hidden interaction between the two. But the most shocking part had not even happened yet. As BTS started preparing to finally leave the stage, fans expected one last goodbye wave before the soundcheck officially ended. Instead, Kim Taehyung and Jungkook suddenly turned back toward the crowd one more time together. And what happened seconds later is now the exact reason Mexico D2 is being called one of the loudest BTS soundchecks ever witnessed by fans live. The moment Kim Taehyung and Jungkook turned back toward the crowd together, the entire stadium instantly sensed something was about to happen again. The screams returned even louder than before. Fans who had already started sitting down immediately jumped back to their feet as phones rose into the air across every section of the venue. The atmosphere became uncontrollable within seconds because nobody expected TaeKook to come back to the front stage one more time before leaving. But what happened next made the situation far more intense than anyone anticipated. Kim Taehyung looked completely energized by the crowd reaction, pacing across the stage while laughing and waving toward fans screaming his name nonstop. Jungkook stayed close beside him, matching the same chaotic energy that had already pushed the Mexico Stadium to its limit earlier in the night. The chemistry between them no longer felt accidental. Every movement seemed connected. Every reaction felt immediate. And ARMY noticed all of it in real time. As the noise inside the stadium kept rising, BTS members in the background appeared unable to stop watching the crowd's reaction toward TaeKook. Several fan recordings captured moments where the members themselves were laughing while looking toward Kim Taehyung and Jungkook as the audience completely lost control again. Then the entire atmosphere shifted. Kim Taehyung suddenly slowed down near the edge of the stage, looking directly toward the crowd while thousands of fans screamed loud enough to echo through the entire venue. For a brief moment, everything almost felt suspended. Even people recording from far away later admitted the energy during those seconds felt different from the rest of the soundcheck. Jungkook noticed it too. Instead of running around the stage again, he moved closer toward Kim Taehyung. And the second fans realized how near they were standing to each other, the screaming exploded to another level entirely. People near the barricades were visibly shaking. Some fans could barely keep their cameras steady. Others were already crying before anything major even happened. Then came the interaction now being replayed endlessly across social media. Kim Taehyung turned toward Jungkook with an expression fans immediately started analyzing online. Before anyone could fully process the moment, Jungkook reacted instantly, and the two burst into laughter together right in front of thousands of screaming ARMY. That single moment completely destroyed the stadium. The reaction from fans became so loud that several clips briefly lost audio quality because of the screaming. Videos from different angles showed the exact same chaos happening simultaneously across the venue. People grabbed each other. Phones dropped. Fans covered their faces in shock while trying to keep recording. And BTS looked just as overwhelmed by the energy. Some members could reportedly be seen staring toward TaeKook while laughing at how out of control the crowd had become. Mexico Army continued screaming nonstop every single time Kim Taehyung and Jungkook even looked in each other's direction. But the moment that truly sent the internet into chaos happened only seconds later. As staff near the stage began signaling that the soundcheck was ending, Kim Taehyung suddenly moved closer toward the front again, while Jungkook followed behind him almost immediately. Fans thought they were simply waving goodbye one final time. They were wrong. Something unexpected happened between the two right before they left the stage, and fans closest to the barricade reacted so violently that people farther back could not even understand what caused the explosion of screams at first. Within minutes, social media was flooded with shaky recordings trying to capture what exactly happened during those final seconds. Some clips appeared too blurry to confirm anything clearly. Others showed fans screaming before the cameras suddenly pointed toward the ground from pure shock. But one thing became undeniable. Whatever happened between Kim Taehyung and Jungkook at the ending of Mexico D2 was powerful enough to leave tens of thousands of ARMY completely speechless long after the soundcheck ended. And now fans are desperately trying to uncover one hidden detail from those final seconds that almost nobody noticed live.